pretty obvious Chris Jericho wants a job at TNA. He was recently talking about how TNA looks so good at Bound for Glory. There's nothing like glazing TNA so you can get a job there. Hopefully WWE calls him up and tells him that they're ready to bring him back and give him his little Hall of Fame and send Chris Jericho on his way into Everland. One thing I don't want to see is Chris Jericho popping up in TNA Wrestling. If it has to happen, I hope he has some kind of WWE deal where most of his time will be in WWE. I really just don't see the benefit of Chris Jericho coming in and taking up TNA's main event picture. I really like the idea of Mike Santana being the mainstay at TNA for quite some time. I really like the idea of TNA building young talent, what they should have been doing all along. And they are doing it with Leon Slater and Mike Santana. I think putting the picture back on WWE talent, and I mean what is perceived as WWE talent, Chris Jericho in this case, would be the wrong thing. I think it would be the wrong move to bring Chris Jericho into TNA Wrestling, unless he's going to be okay jobbing in the X division, which I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Jericho would come in to job in the X division, but that's really, I think, his only place. Him being in the world title picture makes no sense to me. I don't see what it benefits, how it benefits anybody. I don't think Chris Jericho is going to bring more eyes to TNA. I don't think someone's going to tune in because Chris Jericho is on the show. If that worked, AEW would be doing banging numbers, and they're not. And AEW has all the television exposure in the world. If Chris Jericho being there was really something that worked, then we would have already experienced it with AEW. We didn't. Chris Jericho brings nothing to the table for TNA. And hell, I think he brings more to the table for the WWE. He's a Hall of Famer there, surely. And I think that they probably will end up inducting him in the Hall of Fame if that's something he desires. I think we'll see that. And I think it would be just better if he stays away from TNA Wrestling. I don't want to see Chris Jericho in TNA. I appreciate the good compliments he's giving TNA Wrestling, but I hope that's all it ever is him just being positive about TNA. I really hope it's not him trying to get a job at TNA, but it really comes off that way. I don't want to see it. I don't see what it brings to the table. To me, it brings nothing to the table. That's just my thoughts on Chris Jericho and the possibility of him coming in TNA, or if he's fishing to see what kind of deal he can get. Hopefully he goes to WWE. I don't see any reason for him to re-sign with AEW. Um, but if he does that, that's better than coming to TNA. Jericho, stay away from TNA. I don't want you there. And I know my opinion really doesn't matter as far as that goes, but I sure don't want to see it. I'm Kent Jones. I'm signing off.